Welcome to SC Conversation. I'm your host, Brian Mosteller. Our guests this week are Steve and Kim from the Appalachian Council on Governments. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Steve, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Very good. I've been with the agency now since 1990. Actually grew up in Miami, but went to Clemson University and loved the area, so y'all haven't been able to get rid of me. And just really enjoyed it, and great place to live, great place to work.
Good, good. So you're the director.
Yes, sir.
Up there. So tell us a little bit about that.
The Appalachian Council of Governments, we were actually originally formed in 1965 as part of the Great Society program, President Johnson in Congress in the mid-60s, in looking at Appalachia and the endemic poverty of Appalachia. 6 counties in South Carolina, Anderson, Pickens, Oconee, Greenville, Spartanburg, and Cherokee, were included in the 13-state Appalachian Regional Commission area. So our purpose was to identify investment priorities or grant priorities for Appalachian Regional Commission funding. Then in 1971, as the state legislature and governor adopted a series of legislative acts collectively called Home Rule, and local governments were given much more authority and responsibility than previously, we got our mission changed. We still do the grants work, the Appalachian Regional Commission work, but the other 9 councils of governments across the state were formed, and we got changed to expand our role to provide technical assistance to local governments to take on matters of regional importance or significance. And then in the early 1970s, with the adoption of the Federal Older Americans Act, we were designated as a AAA, or an Area Agency on Aging, which gives us many responsibilities towards the seniors. And I'm not going to get too much into that because Kim's the expert there.
Okay. So what areas do you cover?
Basically, the 6 counties in northwest South Carolina, Greenville and Spartanburg, then go east to Cherokee, then west to cover Anderson, Oconee, and Pickens. Okay. And again, we're one of 10 COG regions in South Carolina. Population-wise, we're the largest, and I think we have the best region.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
What type of agency are you? Like a nonprofit, a government agency, or?
Often asked that by my wife even. We are chartered by state government, but we are not like a government agency. We're established through state government, kind of like a sewer district or a hospital district would be. So we're governed by our own board of directors, which consists of local elected officials from the municipal level, county council, as well as legislative delegation members, and then a few citizen leaders as well. And the board sets our priorities, sets our budget, determines if I get to keep my job or not.
Right. So, what type of people are on your board? Are they like council members, or are they county council members, or city council members, or who elects the board, and how does that work?
Yes, sir. In fact, state law addresses how our board is composed. In the purpose is to get the right combination of people to make us a fair and objective convener to to address regional issues. And so our board members, we have municipalities, the county councils, and the legislative delegations all appoint members based proportionate to population in some sense, but to make sure we get an even mix so that we have the right people at the table to address those issues that deal with people across the region.
Okay. So, do you guys have any like community meetings every so often where people can come and and hear what you're doing, or how does that work?
We have, well, yes. To expand on that, we have a number of different programs, and so the meetings and the outreach vary by program. Again, our largest is aging, but I'm going to let Kim cover that. Mm-hmm. But we also do water quality, economic development, community development, and so it kind of varies by program. But on our website, www.scacog.org, mm-hmm. we have our calendar, and the public's always invited. I'd certainly like to have that involvement and that input.
Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, the way I kind of got involved with you guys is through the aging, because I've kind of trying to become, you know, like an advocate for the aging
Sure.
here in the upstate and across South Carolina, because I don't think, you know, many people are taking taking on that role from an individual standpoint. And but I don't think a lot of people know about agencies like yours. So, Kim, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Kim Reyes. I live in Anderson County, but I'm fortunate enough to have a job that I love. I'm what they call a benefits counselor, and I help people in those counties that we mentioned, all of the upstate. And a lot of times people think what I do mainly is just for people 60 and older, because that is what the Older Americans Act mandates. A lot of our home and community-based services are for those 60 and older. But because my program is just a little bit different, the SHIP program, State Health Insurance Program, somebody can be on Medicare as early as 18. So if they were disabled as a child. So our age group is not mainly mandated the 60. Of course, that is probably the majority of the callers that we get, that we assist, but we help with all sorts of things. The aging department, we do a lot of different things, not just what I do, but we have a family caregiver respite program that assists folks who are caring for loved ones with respite needs that they have. Part of those funds can be spent for supplies, maybe things like incontinence supplies or nutritional supplements. Sometimes they can vary a little bit with those funds. Under the Family Caregiver Respite Program also, they do have a grandparents raising grandchildren portion of the respite monies and that is, you know, older Americans money. So for the Alzheimer's Association, we are the pass-through agency for those funds, so people can apply for that through our organization. The other things we do are we're the long-term care ombudsman, which means we advocate for folks living in long-term care facilities, and we do investigations of abuse, neglect, and exploitation. We have partners in the communities that we do serve where they provide some of the services for us, like home delivered meals, homemaker services, things like that. But where I fall in, where I spend my day is pretty much in Medicare. I spend my day in Medicare all day long, usually.
Okay.
Or, you know.
Okay, so you're trying to help the people get
Right.
the services and benefits that they need.
Yeah, absolutely. Our whole focus is to help people stay in their homes independently and live, you know, that way as long as possible, you know, because there's not a whole lot of people who would like to go into facilities. So our main mission is to keep people healthy at home as long as feasible, you know, as possible.
Right, right. Now, do y'all disperse any money? Or go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, not really. I mean, we don't have like a pot of money that says somebody calls and said, hey, can you pay for this? We don't have that kind of money where we just, here's your money. No, we provide services. We don't give money. We provide services.
And you advise on where to go. Go ahead, Steve.
Kim's talking specifically about the Medicare program. With other programs, like she mentioned the family caregiver program, and then some programs we operate with our local partners. We do have, for the family caregiver, somebody with a financial need, we can help them out financially. And with meals programs, we help people out. We get them meals that they don't have to pay for.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Part of that, like the meal money, you know, you're not going to see me out there delivering a meal. Well, you might, because I do volunteer for Meals on, or my local Meals on Wheels, but typically, you know, we don't go get a Happy Meal. We have partners who provide those services for us. Like in Pickens County, it's Pickens County Meals on Wheels. In Oconee County, it's Senior Solutions. Greenville County, it's Senior Action. So we have partners who provide those services for us. You know, we do make sure we do the assessment for that person needing that to see what is your need. I mean, so many times, you know, when we do those assessments, we find out you don't just need a meal, you might need other services, that there may be other things you can benefit from, you know, such as maybe some minor home repair or, you know, homemaker service or somebody to come cut their grass, you know, things of that nature.
Well, that's great. So one thing you may go in for, but you may see other things,
Yeah.
you know, there at the house, at
Right,
the home, and you
right.
can get other organizations in
Absolutely.
to help out.
Yeah, if we don't do that service ourselves, then we do our best to find somebody who will do it for them. You know, so, you know, if there's not a service that we offer through our providers, then yes, absolutely, we're going to refer that person to another community organization who may do something that we don't do.
And that's a key. We don't want your people viewing the show to think, well, I don't know if what I need meets them or not. If you're a senior, you have a need, call us.
Right.
Right.
We'll help, whether it's us or through a partner. So don't think we're too limited.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's one thing. You know, when I talk with you, Steve, is that's kind of, you guys are kind of the cog, if you will, in the wheel. You know, you call you, but you can send it out to other places. It's not that your office will directly resolve or take on the issue, but you know people who can and who will get the other agencies who will get involved.
Exactly.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're going to take a short break and we'll come right back and talk to Steve and Kim some more. I would like to take this time to thank all of the wonderful people and businesses who are sponsoring this show. When you visit the businesses, be sure to go in and tell them thank you for sponsoring SC Conversation.
Hardwood flooring is the most popular kind of flooring, and no one has a larger selection of hardwood flooring than Greer Flooring Center. Remember, you'll always find what you're looking for at the price you're looking for at Greer Flooring Center.
Hey, Upstate, Dave Ramsey here to tell you about our investing ELPs, Roger Sims and Jason Carr at Sims & Carr Financial Solutions. Roger and Jason are the only people I personally endorse for investing right here in the Upstate. They specialize in retirement planning, 401k rollovers, as well as mutual funds and other investments. I personally recommend Roger Sims and Jason Carr of Sims & Carr Financial Solutions. Call Roger and Jason today at 879-0337. That's 879-0337.
Welcome back. We're here talking to Steve and Kim from Appalachian Council of Governments. Kim, tell us a little bit about your role as a SHIPS counselor.
Okay, the SHIP program's been around since 1991. Is a formal program, and basically what we do is we help unravel the insurance mystery. I know a lot of times really people don't understand what is my insurance. I mean, even with employer groups, does anybody really understand what their insurance does? But what we do is we try to break it down for those folks out in the community who need help. You know, maybe somebody's retiring and they want to know, what do I do next? You know, what's going to be my best option? Or they're still working, do you need Medicare? What we do is we kind of take the mystery out of it, because it is complex and it can be overwhelming, because a lot of things you see on TV really may not be as it sounds. You know, sometimes, you know, that old adage that says, if it sounds too good to be true, it is.
Right.
So that's where some of those TV advertisements you see may or may not be your best things to go with. So what we do is we go through comprehensive trainings. There's several SHIP counselors, you know, in our area. And like Steve was saying, we do have 10 different regions in the state. So there's 10 different areas, you know, COGS or area agencies on aging in the state. It's just we're housed within the office there in, you know, in Greenville, and we do serve those counties. That's not to say if we got a call outside of our region we wouldn't help them, because we will. Many times we have people calling from out of state and say, I'm moving to South Carolina, what do I need to do, you know, with my Medicare? Do I need to, or anything, do I need to do, you know, what do I need to do? Here where we are, we've got 59 Advantage plans people can choose from. There's 28 drug plans people can choose from. So, and they're all listed in the back of your Medicare book there. So just reading about that doesn't really help you understand what you need. What we do is we would go in and we do some comparisons. We narrow down their choices based on what they tell us. Somebody's getting ready to retire. What do I need to do? You know, where do I start? Medicare part, you know, Medicare has all these different parts, A, B, C, and D.
Right.
We try to take the mystery out of that for people.
Yeah, that's a great thing you guys are doing, because I know when my mom, she lived with us for a while, and she passed this past January, but a year ago. But it was very difficult. You know, when she got the information every year, you know, I looked through it, and a lot of times, you know, I didn't know to call you guys. You know, I would call the Medicare hotline, and I mean, they did the best they can, but you're sitting on hold for, you know, almost an hour sometimes. And I can only, you know, imagine the calls they get. But nobody really pointed me toward you guys.
Right. Well, if somebody has Medicare or they're becoming eligible, supposedly they get one of these in the mail. If you look on the back, it'll tell you, you know, who do they call. So what this does is this goes to the state office on aging, you know, because we're under that umbrella when it comes to our aging services. It sends you to this number, and then what happens when you call there? Well, they're going to send you back to us, you know, if you happen to live in our region, you know, one of the counties we talked about. So that's kind of like, a lot of times by the time people get to us, they say, I've been transferred so many times, I don't know who I'm talking to. You know, who are you, and what do you do, and how did you get my number? You know, because they'll leave a message, maybe our receptionist will transfer to one of the SHIP council, and they're like, who are you? I'm not giving you that information. But so anyway, it is kind of convoluted sounding, but we do try to help people. We try to find out what is your best option. What are you? We give you unbiased information, and we're not like those numbers you see on TV where if you call this number, they're going to give you this spiel on this particular. We're going to tell you about whatever we think your best options are going to be. We're not incentivized based on what programs we might recommend for someone when it comes to a drug plan or maybe an Advantage plan or even a Medicare supplement. We're going to give you what we think are your best options. I think so many times people are, they think about these big names they've heard in insurance, like maybe Blue Cross Blue Shield or United Healthcare. Those are great programs, but is it the best for you? May not be. So, and that's what we try to help people decide. This year, I think some of the marketing that you've seen advertised on TV has been so aggressive. We have folks who have stellar benefits through Medicare and maybe TRICARE for Life, and they said, am I getting what I need? We've had so many calls this year about that because the marketing has been aggressive. When it comes to these programs, you know, what can you afford? You know, not everybody can afford a supplement. And if you can't, then we're going to do a thorough screening of, and we're going to get a little bit nosy. What's your income? Because you might qualify for some of these extra help programs. And if you qualify, we're going to help you apply.
So how do people contact you guys?
Okay, locally, you know, our Greenville number is 864-242-9733. We do a lot of education also. Like if you have a group who needs, you know, and you want us to speak to a certain group, we're able to do that, whether it's in person or through Zoom right now because of the COVID and all that. We can provide training if it's even through Zoom, but we do go out and we do presentations and provide a lot of education for different groups too.
And again, our website, Appalachian.
Right.
If you Google Appalachian Area Agency on Aging, we're the first one that comes up, or our website, www.scacog.org.
Okay.
Right. I mean, Medicare says, here's this great website, this is how you learn, but a lot of times people are lost. I used to think my mom was like the smartest person I knew, but when it came to Medicare and insurance, she said, you got to take this, I can't do it.
Right.
You know, so, and a lot of times a website and a book, that's not going to tell you, you know, exactly everything you need.
Right.
We know more about, of course, our region, like which providers accept which plans, you know, here in the upstate region. So sometimes even if somebody calls us outside our region, you know, we're going to try to help. And if, you know, it needs to be something very specific, we might redirect you back to your local SHIP counselor.
Right.
I mean, every region in the state has a SHIP program, you know, and then that's what I do.
Okay.
We help you with your insurance. We try to decide whether you're eligible for any of the extra help programs. If you are, we don't just mail you a blank application. We're going to complete that based on what you tell us. We're going to send it to you for you to sign and provide us the supporting documentation. We give you envelopes and it comes straight back to us. So we try to make the application process as easy as possible. Open enrollment happens every year, October 15th through December 7th. That's, if you're already on Medicare and you want somebody to review what you have, then definitely during open enrollment, you call us and let us know. If you're new to Medicare, somebody's turning 65 every day, someone is newly eligible for Medicare due to a disability, somebody's retiring every day. Maybe you're past 65 and you're retiring and you're like, okay, I'm lost, what do I do? That's where we come in and we try to smooth out the process, take out the bumps in the road, so to speak, and try to, you know, if somebody qualifies for some of these programs, we're going to try and see that they get the help they need. We look at fraud cases, you know, sometimes, you know, is something a fraud case? We look at claims, you know, if a claim is denied by Medicare, we'll help somebody apply for, you know, to do a claim, do an appeal. So it's not just enrolling, it's doing appeals as well. We also have a program, a partnership where we help folks get qualified for nursing home waiver programs. You know, maybe somebody needs services in their home that we don't do because, you know, we're not going to go to somebody's house every day, you know, with our homemaker services. We just don't have that type of funding. But we can help you get or we can explain the programs to help you get some other home and community-based program services also. Nursing home care, how do you pay for that? Sometimes we can help with those applications as well.
Right, that's good. Yeah, those are great things because, you know, so many people I know, like with my mom, I just kind of had to start from scratch. I mean, I had no idea. That's one reason why I wanted you guys on the show, because I think this is so important because so many people don't know that you guys exist and or don't know how to get in touch with you guys, with y'all. So I think this is a great thing that you guys are doing, and I appreciate it so much. Go ahead, Kim.
Yeah, I mean, like Steve was saying, we have our website. If somebody's computer savvy and they want to connect with us through email, we're able to do that. I would say probably 95% of the people we help is not just through email. I mean, it's through phone calls. You know, most of our work is done through a phone call.
Right.
We don't necessarily have to have somebody come to our office or we go to their home. You know, 95% probably is done through the phone call and through, you know, regular mail, not email. Right. But we do help, you know, and they can call our number. We're available, you know. the Greenville number.
Kim, I've heard you and the other counselors sometimes tell people, and I believe it's with the prescription program, you've missed a deadline, now you're going to be penalized the rest of your life.
That's a good point.
What's the deadline, and tell people how to not be penalized?
Exactly. When you're first eligible for Medicare, it's very important for you to enroll in Part D benefits or even your Part B. If you're not still working and you've turned 65, you need to enroll in Part B. You need to enroll in Part D within 60 days of becoming Medicare eligible, or else you're going to pay a penalty. It's 1% for each month you were eligible and didn't get it. And it's based off what the national average premium is, which is $33.13. So if you go 10 months, you know, it's $3.31 tacked on top of that premium that you're paying for those plans.
Right. Okay, okay. Well, Steve, Kim, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Again, here on SC Conversation, we try to bring things, especially regarding seniors, at least once a month. If anybody has anything, they can always send us an email, get in touch with us. But Brian Mosteller from SC Conversation, thanks and have a good week. Thanks again to our guests and our wonderful sponsors. Remember, you can stay informed about SC Conversation during the week on our Facebook page and website. Also, feel free to send us an email at info@scconversation.com. Thanks for watching and have a great evening.